Hello creative people and welcome back to the channel. This is Emily Green. I am a Spanish illustrator and a couple of months ago I finished a drawing challenge in which I drew and posted one illustration a day for a whole year. One of the main goals of the challenge for me was to become a solid and consistent illustrator and learn about illustrating as much as I could. So today I wanted to take a bit of time to share some of the biggest lessons that I've learned on my journey as an illustrator, because I believe these tips may also help you on your own creative path. And that's why I want to invite you to grab your favorite brush and draw along with me while we chat together about it. So let's dive into it. Lesson number 1, let go of perfection. I think we've all been there, just staring at a blank page and trying to create the perfect sketch that will make our illustration look like a masterpiece. I remember when I was considering starting the challenge, I wasn't sure I would be able to finish it because I wanted everything to look perfect, and it was particularly difficult to get started knowing that the sketch had to be flawless. But then I realized that if I wanted to become an illustrator, imperfection was inevitable, and the best thing I could do was to switch my mind about it. So what if my illustrations are not a masterpiece? As long as I'm learning from what it isn't working, then I'll be alright. Accepting imperfection took the pressure off and made the process way more enjoyable, especially the sketching process, because now I am able to experiment, explore different ideas and loosen up a little. Lesson number 2, style is a journey. Finding your own style can be a bit overwhelming because there's a lot of pressure to find it right away, like if it was a light switch that you can just turn on. But the truth is that finding the style that feels right for you is the journey, not a destination, and it requires a lot of experimentation. Even when you think you know what your style is, it is inevitable that it will develop and change over time. So don't be afraid to try different techniques, mediums and color palettes, because only through experimentation you'll be able to discover your artistic preferences and refine your skills. And once that happens, your style will naturally begin to emerge. For example, I knew I liked drawing simple and cute illustrations of animals, flowers and people, and that I wanted to use colors that you would find in nature, like green and blue. So I worked on using that to develop a personal style. And through loads of experimentation, I managed to go from illustrations that look like this to illustrations that look like this. So remember that your style will ultimately be a reflection of you and your artistic journey. It will evolve and change over time, and that's perfectly fine. Lesson number 3, comparisons are no good. Social media can be an incredible source of inspiration and a fantastic way to connect with the creative community. But it can also be a breeding ground for comparison, especially when you scroll through feeds that only show seemingly perfect art. And let's be honest here, sometimes the pressure to achieve the same level of skill as your favorite artist can only be too real. So here's how you can break free from the comparison trap and nurture your creativity. First, remember to focus on your particular journey. Every artist starts somewhere, and it's important to celebrate your progress rather than comparing yourself to the end point of someone else's journey. And second, learn from other artists' techniques, because some of them may work for you when developing your own personal style. So focus on your own growth, celebrate your unique voice, and don't let comparisons steal your creative spark. Lesson number 4, feedback is your friend. I think this is a particularly difficult topic for shy artists like me, because sometimes the fear of sharing your work and exposing your artistic self to the world is terrifying. Because you always ask yourself, what if this is not as good as I thought, or what if they don't like this? But the truth is that if you don't share your work, nobody will see it, and most importantly, nobody will give you any feedback, and feedback is essential. Constructive criticism can be a powerful tool for identifying weaknesses and pushing your boundaries to become a better illustrator, so the best thing you can do is to approach it with an open mind and a willingness to learn. However, not all feedback is created equally. While it can be valuable, if a suggestion feels completely wrong, it is okay to politely disagree and trust your own gut and your artistic vision. Lesson number 5, persistence is key. I understand only too well what it feels like when you think you're stuck and not making any progress. But if there is one thing I've learned on this journey, is that you need to be patient. Mastering skills takes time, dedication, and effort. So don't get discouraged if you don't see results overnight. Think that the more you practice, the more comfortable and confident that you'll become with your skills, and for this you need to be persistent and have a never give up attitude. One of the things that kept me drawing every day was breaking my artistic goals into smaller, achievable steps. I started by dedicating some 10 to 15 minutes a day to drawing, and I tried to build some kind of habit from there. Other things that allowed me to be constantly creating were watching loads of art tutorials and participating in art challenges. I found that the latter were an excellent way for me to stay motivated and try out new techniques, as well as a great way to learn how to approach an illustration based on my particular style. So remember, slow and steady wins the race. Be patient and persistent, because the more you keep pushing yourself, the closer you'll be to achieving your artistic goals. These are just a few of the things I've learned on my illustration journey, but I know everyone's creative path is different, so if you have any tips of your own, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, because I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more creative content. You can also follow me on Instagram at @everlygreenart, where I publish all my illustrations, including the one you saw in the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day. Bye.